On the continent of Samuel, there is the strongest race called the Dragon Clan. They are proficient in ancient magic, and although they are scarce in numbers, they are incredibly powerful and are the greatest enemy on this continent. No one knows why there was a war between humans and dragons and what happened in the beginning. The cause of the war has long been buried in history. The war between humans and dragons has been going on for hundreds of years on this continent. The dragon used its powerful body and ancient magic to attack humans while humans desperately fought with the dragon. Even though they were insignificant in front of the dragon, the long years of fighting had left both humans and dragons dead and wounded, and each had paid a painful price in this prolonged war. There have been no negotiations, no compromises, and no mercy. The sound of the dragon's attack and the shouts of the humans resounded throughout the battlefield. For centuries, the humans and the dragons have not been able to distinguish between them to this day. Even with heavy casualties, they are still fighting each other in the year 71733 of the Genesis era. The mightiest dragon slayer, Leon Chasmed, was ordered to lead an army to attack the Dragon Clan. They were determined to eliminate the Empire's greatest foe, Queen Roswitha of the Silver Dragons. However, the Empire's greatest dragon-slaying hero Leon was betrayed by his own comrades and became a prisoner of the Dragon Clan. The current location is the dungeon of the Silver Dragon Clan, which holds the Dragon Slayer as a captive. The dark dungeon is very quiet, with only 2 guards watching over the Dragon Slayer. Suddenly, a clear sound of high heels ring out in the dungeon. One of the guards notices the sound of the high heels and the silver-haired woman walking from the darkness. The 2 guards salute the woman and address her as Your Majesty. The woman tells the 2 guards to leave first. She needs to talk to the Dragon Slayer alone. After the guards leave, only the Dragon Slayer and the woman remain in the dark and silent dungeon. This silver-haired woman with a beautiful figure is the Silver Dragon Queen, Roswitha, in a condescending tone. Roswitha asks the Dragon Slayer how he feels about being taken prisoner by the Dragon Clan. The man in front of her is Leon, the Dragon Slayer who has killed countless dragons. Leon is covered in blood and looked serious, telling Rosa to hurry up and kill him with a hint of a provocative tone. Roswitha asks Leon if he needs her to give him a quick death. However, Roswitha thinks about it and pinches Leon's face, telling him that wanting to die isn't going to be so easy. It is a pity about this handsome face. Roswitha scratches a scar on Leon's face and praises the scar on his face as a perfect match for him. Leon immediately dodges Ross with his hand and tells her to hurry up if she wants to kill him and not to humiliate him. Here, in a mocking tone, Razua licks the blood left on her hand and tells Leon that even though he is powerful, he is still framed by his betraying partner, and now he is a prisoner of the Dragon Clan, and persuades him to join the Silver Dragon Clan. Leon sneers and looks up at Ross with a clearly, her words do not sway. Leon gives an answer to what Rosa has just said. Leon's words enrage Rosa, who gives an angry look and uses her foot to kick Leon hard against the stone wall behind her, the chains binding. Leon moves out of their original position. As Leon moves, Leon coughs up blood from the heavy blow, adding new wounds to his already injured body. Roswitha stomps her foot hard on Leon's chest, saying that a captive had been so rude to her, and in a condescending tone proceeds to tell Leon to stop dreaming of being a hero. Roswitha says he is going to die here soon, and as a captive now, he will not be able to become a great dragon slayer hero for the rest of his life. Roswitha continues to add that his descendants may be able to enjoy all the riches and honor with him, but sadly for someone like him, with no heirs, that day will never come. Leon looks at Rosa with determination in his eyes, telling her not to underestimate humans as soon as the words are out of his mouth. Leon is wrapped around his neck and lifted up by Roswitha's tail. Roswitha says he's such a stubborn fool. Leon can't breathe with her tail wrapped around his neck and says, "Your Majesty," with great difficulty. Roswitha sees that he's having trouble defending himself and subconsciously assumes that he's going to beg her for mercy. However, Leon breaks off and says that she makes 2 mistakes from the very beginning. Roswitha is puzzled and for a moment does not understand what he is saying. Leon goes on to add that firstly, she shouldn't have stayed with him, the most highly trained dragon slayer, and secondly, she shouldn't have tasted his blood in an instant. Leon's eyes become abnormally red and unleashes a spell called the Blood Curse. This spell reacts on Roswitha, and she immediately releases her tail from wrapping around Leon's neck. Roswitha gradually moves away from the man in front of her. She is flushed, feels her body grow hot, and her legs weaken to the point where she sits on her knees for a moment. She isn't sure what is happening. Leon stands up and explains to Roswitha, who is sitting on her knees, that this spell will soon put her in a lifetime of pain brought on by her soul. Suddenly, Ross, with the lunges at Leon with her own body without understanding what is happening, Leon is tackled to the ground by Ross, with a seeing Ross with flushed face. Leon realizes that it is his spell that had a side effect on Ross, with a causing her to some kind of stimulation. Ross, with his consciousness, goes out of control under the fluence of the spell, and without saying a word, she directly kisses Leon, the sound of a large heartbeat echoes in Leon's chest. An hour later, the clothes of the two are scattered on the floor. The side effects of the spell disappear, and Roswitha slowly regains consciousness, seeing the two in their current condition. Ross, with an angry owl, looks back at Leon and questions what he has done to her. Leon explains to her that the spell is called the Blood Curse. It is a forbidden spell that can only be used once in a lifetime by tasting his blood. She and he have formed a soul link. As long as he's dead, the curse will plunge her into endless agony. Ross, with the angrily dislike, likes it back, saying that if it's a spell that takes effect only after he died, then what was all that just happened? Leon, who also seems to have only just leered about the side effects of the spell, explains to Rosa that what just happened is just an accident. He also doesn't expect the side effect to be so powerful before the words could be finished. Ross, with a hardly, tells Leon to shut up, not wanting him to continue describing what just happened. Leon then suddenly thinks of the fact that dragons follow the monogamy principle. Then he laughs and tells Roswitha that after his death, she will neither be able to find a new mate nor explain the current situation to the dragons. The effect of this curse has far exceeded his expectations. Roswitha is furious but can't say anything in return for a moment. Leon looks at her with scorn and says that she is now going to have no successor either. Rosa can't stand what Leon has said and is ready to give Leon another blow. However, Leon weakly replies that he doesn't need her to do it anymore and that he will die soon. These words make Ross with a stop attacking him. Before he died, Leon adds that it is his curse on Ross, with to live in pain for the rest of her life. With that said, Leon is no longer conscious. After Roswitha puts her clothes back on, she kicks Leon and says that a human uses such a despicable method of revenge against her and wants to escape by dying. There's no such easy way out after saying this. Roswitha uses her spell to inflict a strange coat of arms on Leon's chest.